Get ready to dive into a whirlwind of secrets and dangers in solo leveling. Jinwoo, still operating in the shadows as a low-ranking hunter, finds himself in increasingly risky situations. An unexpected encounter with the perceptive Cha Hae-In raises suspicions about his true identity, Yai's, while a seemingly simple support mission turns into a deadly trap orchestrated by a cunning enemy. Witness Jinwoo being forced to intervene, revealing glimpses of his overwhelming power to save his companions. But the biggest twist might not be the battle itself, but rather Cha Hae-In's keen perception, and a peculiar detail about Jinwoo that leaves her obsessed, a detail that could expose his entire disguise. Jinwoo, upon finally reaching the boss's antechamber, draws his dagger, preparing himself, when Che suddenly appears behind him, asking what he was doing there. Jinwoo, in turn, tries to cover up, saying that he got lost. Not very convinced by his answer, Che warns him that he is in the boss's room, asking him to leave. Jinwoo realizes that he had underestimated her, confirming that Che's reputation is well deserved, as he only noticed her presence when she spoke to him. Jinwoo discreetly puts away the dagger, making Che think that she might have imagined things, wondering if he wasn't holding a weapon moments before. Meanwhile, Jinwoo apologizes to her, and Che repeats that he must leave, warning about the serious consequences of waking the boss, an order that Jinwoo accepts. However, as he walks towards the exit, Che, surprised, asks him to wait. Approaching him quickly, she makes him tense. Che sniffs him, and comments to herself that he doesn't have a bad smell, asking Jinwoo if he is really a hunter. Jinwoo confirms, but she checks his ID card to verify the information. After the verification, she advises him to be very careful when leaving, and Jinwoo agrees. As he walks away, Che thinks about the absence of an unpleasant smell on him. She supposes that maybe it's because of his low rank. Unlike the other hunters, he has a surprisingly pleasant smell. Meanwhile, Jinwoo joins the other miners. They congratulate him on the encounter with Che, as they can only observe her from a distance. They also comment that she uses her lunch break to patrol and protect them from the dungeon boss. He discovers right there that Che has a special sensitivity, which is why she covers her nose. She can no longer stand the smell of the other hunters. This discovery surprises Jinwoo. He remembers that the boss of the Red Portal said something similar, leading him to wonder if there might be some connection to the help he receives from the system. Upon finishing the work, Jinwoo receives his payment and also compliments from the mining boss for completing the task, ahead of the expected time. He offers him to continue helping. Jinwoo thanks him, but declines the offer, stating it was a one-time help. Even so, the boss insists that he stay for another day. And upon being informed of the details about 2 simultaneous raids in ranks A and C the next day, Jinwoo accepts. During the night, Che tries to gather information about Jinwoo, and is perplexed to discover that his data is confidential, blocked by the association, despite him not having a high rank. After hanging up, Che has trouble sleeping, disturbed by the doubts that Jinwoo raises, and the feeling that something strange is happening, in addition to him being the first hunter she has met with a pleasant scent. The next morning, Jinwoo arrives at the meeting point for the raid. While being warmly welcomed by everyone, he recalls with some nostalgia his first expeditions. Just like the previous day, Jinwoo once again impresses his colleagues with his way of working, allowing them to finish the task earlier. During lunch, the mining chief insists again that he work on his team, offering to pay 5 times more. At that moment, Captain Kim Sangshik appears to everyone's surprise. He then asks the head of the miners if he could borrow someone, since the person in charge of transporting the equipment didn't show up, and the collection team was also short-staffed. Noticing the mining chief's hesitation, Kim Sangshik addresses everyone, informing them that anyone willing to help would be well rewarded. However, no one volunteers even with the reward, as being of low rank. They feel they cannot protect themselves from the dangers, and the payment is not worth the risk to their lives. In light of this, the mining chief comments that this cannot be solved with money alone. Seizing the opportunity, Jinwoo volunteers, causing general astonishment. His companions, however, try to convince Kim Sangshik not to accept him, commenting that he started yesterday and therefore would not understand the consequences of the decision. Kim Sangshik, aware of his experience, says there's no problem and introduces himself to Jinwoo as the leader of that day's incursion, and Jinwoo introduces himself as well. In front of the portal, Jinwoo observes that it is much larger than the one from the previous day, yet it releases less magical power. Kim Sangshik explains that they are the secondary team and therefore would not be sent to a very risky dungeon. Once inside, Jinwoo experiences the same sensation he had when entering the red portal, which makes him nervous. The team's mage notices his unease and reassures him, ensuring that the team members are strong and that nothing will happen to them if he stays close to them. As they walk, Kim Sangshik thinks that on the way back he would be officially promoted to captain. But his thoughts are interrupted by a strange sensation that overtakes the group, making them prepare to fight, which makes Jinwoo curious, as the leader had not yet given the order. At that moment, dungeon jackals begin to emerge, and with great coordination and ease, the team eliminates them one by one. However, the leader is surprised, wondering why they are appearing in an A-rank dungeon. When Jinwoo asks, the mage replies that they usually appear in C-rank dungeons. Jinwoo crouches down to look at the bodies and notices that they have collars. Soon after, a group of red orcs appears, intent on wiping out the team, launching the first attack, which is defended by Kim Sangshik. Seeing his power, the group's tank tries to provoke the orcs, but the skill doesn't work, and he warns everyone to be careful. The orcs then attack the team's backline, which manages to withstand the first impact. The members start to defend themselves individually. But the large number of orcs causes difficulties, and the healer can't help everyone. Kim Sangshik realizes that the B-rank hunters aren't strong enough for these orcs. He tries to organize them into trios, but at that exact moment a hunter loses an arm. Luckily there was a healer with them. In a short time, the team is overwhelmed by the orcs. At the critical moment when one of the hunters is about to be killed, Jinwoo enters the fight using his stealth ability, along with the ruler's hand, managing to eliminate the aggressive orc, while Jinwoo continues to weaken the orcs without being seen, creating an advantage for his team. One of the mages observes him. He, however, does not stop, as he is unable to watch someone die without doing anything. The raid team continued advancing with regained confidence, as they eliminated the orcs, without understanding why they suddenly seemed weaker. The important thing, however, was to complete the mission without further losses. Of course, one of them was left with a lifelong trauma, but that was collateral damage. The mage, who noticed Jinwoo's stealth, preferred to remain silent. She thought he must have his reasons for not revealing his actions, and more importantly, acknowledged that thanks to him, they were still alive. Later, one of the members asked the leader if they should continue, since the place was dangerous and they would need reinforcements. At least 5 more people, 2 healers and 3 mages. Noticing the leader's doubt in his first time as a commander, they say they understand how he feels, but perhaps retreating would be the best option. Kim Sangshik remains indecisive until Jinwoo intervenes, saying that giving up is not easy and everyone wants to conquer dungeons, but a smart leader knows when to retreat. Finally, Kim Sangshik makes his decision and informs everyone that they will withdraw. Upon reaching the exit, they realize it is blocked by a barrier and wonder who would have the power to control such strong magic. Even so, the team's mage says that with some time, she could remove the blockage. At that moment, they feel a great magical power, which prompts the mages to hurry to break the barrier. But suddenly, they are affected by a curse. While Jinwoo wonders why this great magical power isn't felt from the outside, as he calls the healer to help the mages, he sees a large number of orcs, surprising everyone. Kim Sangshik approaches them, and the leader of the orcs introduces himself as Kargalgan, confirming that he was the one who blocked the entrance, as he is the great sorcerer of the orc tribe. Kim Sangshik realizes that it is not the orc soldier who is speaking, but rather the dungeon boss, using the soldier's body. He tells them that he is eager to meet them, so they have 2 options: go with the soldiers to see him, or face his orcs. Kim Sangshik asks Jinwoo to take the opportunity to exit the portal when they go to see the boss. His plan is to distract him so that Jinwoo can escape at a moment of weakness. The mage takes the opportunity to ask him to deliver a message to her family, a testament with her last wishes, since he is not obliged to stay, unlike them, who were trained to die. This situation makes Jinwoo remember the double dungeon when his companions abandoned him. He then confirms that he will do what she asked, although he hopes it won't be necessary. Outside the portal, the hunter Chai is looking for Jinwoo. The mining chief informs her that he is inside the portal, which leaves her astonished. Chai finds it strange that Jinwoo entered as a porter in the rank A portal, given that he is supposedly rank E. Moreover, she seems to remember seeing him with a weapon near the boss's room before, and this fuels her suspicions. Therefore, she informs the mining chief that she is going to enter and grabs a pickaxe, the only available tool she could use as a weapon. In the meantime, Jinwoo and the other hunters arrive at the large boss room. They observe the enormous number of High Orcs around and know that if they were to come out, they could easily destroy 1 or 2 cities, especially the 4 in front of the boss, whose aura is far superior to the others. The boss decides to speak with them. Although the team leader's initial intention was to defeat him to prevent a catastrophe, everyone feels the effects of the boss's overwhelming magical presence. He explains that he brought them there for fun and plans to torture, kill, and devour each one of them. Kim Sangshik strongly rejects these intentions and gives the signal for his group to attack, but fear prevents his companions from moving. Even so, Kim Sangshik charges alone against the boss, who defends himself with a protective chant, and then uses gravity magic to hurl him against the ceiling and the wall several times. Before delivering the final blow, Jinwoo moves with incredible speed to save him and place him on the ground. Ali comments that he shouldn't interfere, since the dungeon belongs to their guild, but as they are in danger, he asks for permission to defeat everyone there. While waiting for the response, one of the High Orc guardians tries to attack him. Jinwoo uses the ruler's authority to stop him and violently hurl him against the ceiling. Seconds later, Kim Sangshik gives permission to Jinwoo. With the authorization granted, Jinwoo positions himself in front of the boss and summons his shadows. This time, he uses a new skill he learned, which greatly increases the attributes of his shadows within a specific area. At Kargalgan's signal to attack, Jinwoo's shadows fight against the Orc Horde with Igris, Iron, and Tank, showing clear superiority. Jinwoo also participates in the slaughter, displaying movements that impress the hunters, with their similarity to Chai's. Kargalgan then uses his chance to destroy the shadows, knowing that if he makes Jinwoo expend all his mana, he will be left without his army. Jinwoo focuses on dodging the powerful spells, realizing that the boss forces him to keep his distance with long-range attacks. Meanwhile, Jinwoo and his men arrive at the entrance of the portal. Upon analyzing the level, they confirm it to be a rank A portal close to rank S, indicating an initial evaluation error. Jinwoo asks them to check the situation of the team inside before entering to offer assistance. In the face of Kargalgan's taunts, Jinwoo reveals that he has mana potions, and for greater impact, reanimates the shadows of the fallen High Orcs, declaring that the next shadow to be collected will be Kargalgan's own. Seeing this shocks Kargaga, who recognizes something familiar and experiences a momentary error related to the system. However, his main order to kill humans takes control, and he resumes acting as usual, ordering his guardians to attack. Iron and Ingress engage in an intense battle against the Orc Guardians, defeating them thanks to their vastly superior skills. Seeing that they are gradually winning the battle, the hunters try to join the fight as well, but the boss immobilizes them with spells and curses. Next, Kargaga casts a combination of curses on Jinwoo, trying to bring him down, but he shows great resistance to poison and curses. When Kargaga activates his defensive chant, Jinwoo orders his mages to use the artifact that doubles magic, casting a powerful offensive spell that easily breaks Kargaga's shield. At that exact moment, Che arrives at the scene, astonished to see so many summons fighting against the monsters, although she focuses on the injured from her guild. The mage's attack enrages Kargaga, who once again performs a combination of chants, transforming into a giant in seconds. Soon after, he uses the Song of the Fire Dragon, shooting countless rays of flames in all directions. Taking advantage of the enemy's immense size, Jinwoo uses his speed to stab a dagger into its eye, impairing its vision. Then he uses the ruler's authority to grab a large chain that was in the room, and use it to wrap around and topple the giant boss, pulling it down with his extraordinary strength. Jinchu arrives just in time to witness the scene, left speechless, while Jinwoo and his shadows don't miss the chance to finish off the boss, as it returns to its normal size. Che clearly observes Jinwoo's performance, recognizing him as a top-tier hunter. With Kargaga defeated, Jinwoo quickly takes its shadow. Unable to remember the original name, he decides to call it Tusk, and is surprised to see its rank as an elite knight, a classification he had never seen before. Noticing that everyone is approaching him, Jinchu intervenes, asking the hunters to maintain complete secrecy about the incident, as the information about Jinwoo is top secret. Kim Sangshik tells Jinwoo that he certainly had his reasons for hiding his true rank and acting as a porter, but he sums up his speech with a thank you, because thanks to him, everyone is still alive. Later, Kim Sangshik discusses the incident with Choi. Choi asks Kim Sangshik's opinion on who would be stronger between Jinwoo and himself. Kim Sangshik simply points out that Jinwoo was able to clear an A-rank portal by himself, and Choi admits that he could never do such a thing, acknowledging the huge power difference between them. Motivated by this, both Kim Sangshik and Choi start to wish to recruit Jinwoo for the Hunters Guild. The next day, a crowd of reporters gathers in front of the Hunters Association, interested in the actor Lee Min-sung, who recently awakened as a hunter. The dust settles in the High Orcs dungeon, but the tension outside only increases. Jinwoo was once again the unlikely hero, adding the powerful tusk to his shadow army. However, his flawless performance and overwhelming power did not go unnoticed, especially by Cha Hae-In, whose curiosity only grows. With his data blocked and a peculiar scent that intrigues the rank S hunter, how long will Jinwoo be able to keep his secret? And how will the decision to keep everything under wraps affect the future of the guilds and Jinwoo's own safety? Will Cha Hae-In confront Jinwoo directly? How will the guilds react to the growing power of an unknown figure? And most importantly, how long will Jinwoo be able to keep his true identity hidden? We want to know your theory. Comment below what you think will happen next. If you got excited about this epic battle, and the intrigues surrounding Jinwoo, leave your like to support Turbo Nerd. Share with your friends who also love solo leveling, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any details of this incredible journey. In the next video, we will analyze the repercussions of these actions and the new challenges that await Sang Jinwoo. Until then.